4 years ago. I was in a Nathan Fowkes class at schoolism.com, and I did this illustration as an assignment for him. Fast forward to today, and I decided to redo that illustration. I often do this with illustrations that are 4-ish years old, because that's a nice amount of time to track progress. It's how long you're in college for. It's how long you're in high school for. It's 4 years. It's just a good amount of time to take an old illustration and see how much you've improved, which is kind of what this channel is about. Currently, I am in this awkward stage where I don't feel like a student illustrator, but I'm also not professional yet. I'm not making my money doing illustrations, so you should definitely subscribe and make that dream come true. But while we wait for you to subscribe, I thought it would be really fun to take this old illustration and redo it and see how much I've improved. And what's fun about this is in a couple of weeks, I will be at Lightbox Expo in Pasadena, California. And guess who's gonna be there? None other than the pirate himself, Nathan Fowkes. I don't know if he's still wearing the eye patch, but I kind of hope he is. I mean, for his sake, hopefully not. Anyways, he's gonna be there, and I'm really excited to meet him in person and thank him for the classes he taught me, but also I'm hoping to get to his booth and say, hey, this is an assignment I did for you 4 years ago, and here's how much I improved, and get his feedback on it. I think would be really cool. So that's the goal. But anyways, this video is 3 things that I did to take this illustration all the way to this finish. Let's dive in. All right, so the first thing I did was, it's gonna sound abstract and weird and cliche and other things like that, but I just wanted to have more fun with this illustration. This illustration felt very much like an assignment, which it was. A little stale and lazy. I think a lot of that comes out of just not having enough fun. So the first thing I did is just cover this thing in my favorite brushes, which is these oil canvas brushes, these digital oil brushes. I think very early on, this actually had a lot more energy to it. And I've learned that the more calm I am, the slower I work, the more I step back and make sure that things are right and don't rush through a painting, actually the more fun I have because it's more successful. If you guys have been following this channel for a while, which most of you haven't, I can see from my statistics that only 5% of you are regular viewers. So you should definitely watch this video where I talk about this conviction that I have in my artwork recently, where I don't want to just keep painting. I don't want to just get through a painting. I want to make sure that a painting is beautiful at every stage, because I truly believe that that is the difference between a student artist and a professional artist. So anyways, the first thing was to have fun. The second thing was this needed some lighting. This needed juicy light to help us tell that story. Not juicy light for the sake of juicy light, but juicy light to help us tell this story. So I literally Googled greatest basketball photos of all time. And what I found was a lot of great reference, but this picture of Kobe Bryant slam-diddity dunking it. And what I loved about it was those lights in the background, those big Canon lights. So I said, hey, we need to add this. Oh, I should mention that this painting is based off of a reference photo of David Skywalker Thompson and his 44-inch vertical winning a jump ball by like a foot and looking down at his opponent. Oh, it's just such a cool photo. It needed to be illustrated. So anyways, that's what this is based on. Anyways, what was I talking about? Lighting. So we put those big Canon lights in the background, and what that let me do was really give some life to my main character here. I wanted to take these kind of Looney Tunes looking characters that I had established in the 2021 version of this illustration and give it realistic lighting. What that let me do is 2 things. Really juice up the lighting and give me a chance to use the old rim lighting, which a lot of illustrators make fun of rim light, say that it's overused in concept art, but it's just so appropriate for a sports photo, specifically a basketball one where it is backlit, and it ended up looking so cool. So I don't care what you have to say about rim lighting. I think it looks awesome in this one. By adding that light, I was able to add a lot of detail, because once you add lighting to your situation, you can kind of create this equation of this is light, this is dark, this is light, this is dark, because there's logic to it. I know now, because I've stated that my lighting situation is here, I know that this is where the light's gonna hit, and this is where the shadow's gonna be. Whereas if you go back to my old version, there's not really a light situation in that. And so it's harder to make decisions when you haven't set a North Star of this is the temperature of my light, this is the intensity of my light, this is where my light is coming from, here's how many different lights there are. By making those decisions, I am able to have a lot more fun and start telling a story, which is the third point, is making sure that every aspect in this painting is serving the story. So what is the story, Justin? Great question. The story of this illustration is David Skywalker Thompson getting that ball, doing whatever it takes to get that ball. But on top of that, it is the awe of this moment, the unbelievableness of a human being being able to jump that high. So this third point definitely ties back into both of the first two things I was saying. One, having fun with it. An illustration that is story driven is way more fun. Once you decide what the story is, you're able to navigate all of the details and put them in a hierarchy of this narration. So I was able to push back some of the characters in the background, push back the referee, because by doing that, it made my lighting so much more effective to that point of David's gonna get this ball, whatever it takes. I rendered out the ball much further than I did in the original one. A, because I think this ball is way more interesting, back to my first point. 2, the lighting is way more exciting, which is my second one. And 3, that ball is the final piece of our story, right? We have David Thompson jumping for a ball. So that ball needs to be way more interesting. So by pulling all of those characters back, by rim lighting the ball and David and giving him this juicy, cool lighting, I was able to create a way better story inside of this illustration. So that is how I took this old illustration and made it this good. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Please do like and subscribe. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.